Hi, I'm Michael Senoff, founder and CEO of HardToFindSeminars.com. For the last 5 years, I've interviewed the world's best business and marketing minds. Now my challenge is to build the world's largest free resource for online, downloadable audio business interviews. I've learned a lot in the last 5 years, and today I'm going to show you the skills you need to survive.
Going from nothing to 12 to 15 million in 5 years, I had to learn a lot doing that because everything I did worked, and my partner and I pretty much thought we could never fail. The going bankrupt part, I learned a lot.
This is Michael Senoff with Michael Senoff's HardToFindSeminars.com. You know, everyone dreams of getting their product into Wal-Mart, and you're going to hear the next 2 hours of an interview with someone who has done this and sold over $45 million worth of products to Wal-Mart, Target, and other merchandisers. His name is Joe. I call him Big Joe because Joe's done big numbers and is probably one of the most experienced people I've met on the subject in the inner workings of mass merchandisers. In the next 2 hours, you're going to hear his story from failure to triumph and how he finally succeeded in nailing his product into some of the world's largest retailers. 25 years ago, Joe learned the inside workings of one of the world's largest consumer products company as a product manager for Kimberly-Clark. Kimberly-Clark is a manufacturer of Kleenex, Huggies diapers, and other familiar U.S. products. After leaving Kimberly-Clark, Joe founded his very first company to manufacture and sell children's products to retailers. Over the last 25 years, Joe has founded and grown 4 companies. 2 of them sold over $45 million worth of products that he had invented and sold to chains like Wal-Mart, Target, and other retailers. Joe developed and sold 3 complete product lines consisting of hundreds of products to both Wal-Mart and Target, and 1 year received the Best New Vendor Award from Target's Stationery and School Supply Department. Joe also built and sold a mail-order catalog company and a promotional products company. Joe also has extensive experience in other distribution channels besides retail. You're about to hear the most complete training on the subject of getting your product into Walmart and other mass merchandisers that ever exist. Get ready and let's get going.
I got started as an entrepreneur 27 years ago. I went to business school. I got a job with B.F. Goodrich Chemical Company, and I didn't have any training in chemistry, but a friend of mine had the job, and he got transferred to another department. So we spent a weekend, him coaching me in polymer chemistry, and then when they interviewed me on his recommendation, I was the only one they'd ever interviewed who knew their chemistry.
How old were you?
23.
Were you a good student all through high school?
I did great in high school. I came close to flunking out of college, graduated last in my class, and then got an MBA and was second in my class, 37 A's and a B.
You were smart. If it interested you, you could do it.
Yeah, that's sort of how it worked out. And then at the B.F. Goodrich Company, I got assigned a product line as a product manager. I didn't know what business was or marketing. My background had been biology, and I was an artist. And I learned quickly you can't make any money as an artist, especially when you're not very good, which is my case.
Did you try and make money as an artist?
Yeah, for about a year. Worked in commercial art for a while and found out that this is going to get me nowhere because I'm not very good. So what I did then, I got this job, and now that I've got a job, I'm in charge of marketing for a group of polymers. And I don't know what marketing is. I've never had a business class. So I said, well, the company will pay for business school for me. So I think I've got to go to school and find out what I'm supposed to be doing in this job. That's when I get into the MBA program at Case in Cleveland. But the funny thing was, the product line I got had been around for 25 years and had about the same sales level.
What do these chemicals do?
They're polyacrylic chemicals. Their main application was for water treatment and cooling towers to disperse solids so that things don't clog up.
Did you have a sales force under you?
Yes. I had a sales force, but I wasn't the only polymer they sold. They sold other stuff of our company as well. So not knowing anything about it, I figured what I'd do is go out and talk to customers and ask them what they buy this stuff for. Why are you buying this stuff from us anyway? What is it doing for you? As I'm in business school and doing this, I'm going out and saying, okay, I'm not a chemist. I'm not an engineer. I was the first non-engineer to get this job. Everybody else is chemical engineers. So I went out and talked to customers and found out, what do they use it for? Because these are big companies that have lots of scientists. And I said, what do you think we could do to make it work better? They told me basically make the molecules smaller so they disperse more effectively per pound of polymer. I said, okay, that sounds cool. So I go back to the lab.
Did you hear that from multiple people?
From customers, yes.
Were you going meeting them physically one-on-one or using the phone or what?
One-on-one. I get the assignment to market and sell the stuff, and I don't know what it does, so I better figure out what it does and why people buy it. And then I figure, well, nobody better than my customer is going to know how maybe could do it better. So I asked them that. And then I get back to the labs at B.F. Goodrich, and at B.F. Goodrich I didn't have a budget for research labs, but I went out and talked to scientists out there and got some of them to do stuff on their own time to make me smaller molecules. And they made me some smaller molecules and made me some samples that I took out to my customers, and they tested them in their lab, and they worked better. So I go back up to the lab and said, okay, well, now we need the next group of guys who commercialize a product. It's a different department than the ones who create a new molecule. They have to make it efficient in production. So I got them to do that, and then took it back out for more tests, and the stuff works great. They start buying a lot of it. And it ends up they're buying tanker trucks full of this stuff we're selling for $1.50 a pound with $1 profit, which in that company they were selling PVC and rubber and latex and things that have a 1% profit or they're losing money. And this thing is making hellacious profit. After I got my MBA, I left, but we had gone from 25 years at $500,000 up to $3 million in sales. And once I understood it was a dispersant and what it did, I said, well, hell, Procter & Gamble uses dispersants in detergents. I'll go talk to them. And the product we had would not work in a washing machine, but it would work for dry the clothes on a line. And P&G Mexico, that's the detergents they do down there, because a lot of people in Mexico dry clothes on the line started buying it for detergents. And now that application could multiply the volume by 10, I suppose, but I ended up leaving before it got commercialized, so I really don't know what happened.
What would you say the lesson was in that success?
You go talk to your customers, find out what their needs are, what your product needs to do, and ask them if they know how to make it work better. I wasn't the scientist. The problem other people had in the jobs is they were engineers and they thought they knew everything, and they were supposed to be the experts. And they got nowhere. The same product sold the same volume for a couple decades. What I did different is talk to the customers.
Okay, what'd you do after that?
After they wouldn't give me more money, I mean, I figured I made them a couple $1 million every year. They ought to give me a nice raise, and they wouldn't because it didn't fit their policy. I ended up going to Kimberly-Clark as a product manager. They gave me industrial products there. I wasn't in the consumer division. And I got on the wrong side of them. Kimberly-Clark has, like Procter & Gamble, they have a bunch of procedures for how you do stuff. They do know consumer marketing and sell billions of dollars of product, and they say, you will do it this way. I get given non-woven fabric to find applications for, and I didn't like the process they went through. This is the entrepreneur in me coming out then.
Right. You had a little flexibility with the other company. This one wanted to tell you what to do, exactly how to do it, more strict, right?
Yeah, B.F. Goodrich didn't know what marketing was, so I could do pretty much what I wanted. Kimberly-Clark thinks they know, and they do. They're a very successful company. But the process to introduce a new product would take almost 3 years. I was given 2 dozen possible applications. One of them was tablecloths, that you could make a tablecloth out of this stuff, and you could wash it.
Now, what was it, non-woven fabric?
Spun-bonded polypropylene. It feels like fabric, but it's plastic, and you can wash it 50 times.
Do we see that stuff on the market today?
No. Tell you why. First off, I wasn't allowed to sell consumer products. I'm in the industrial division. And there's some politics going on between the VP of Consumer and the VP of Industrial, and they hate each other. So I'm not allowed to take my product into anything related to consumers. So I said, well, I have a consumer application here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find another company. So I find a paper company that has all the right machinery to convert, package, and print tablecloth. And I go talk to them, and I say, hey, I'm not allowed to sell this to the grocery stores or anything, but you could. And they're doing it now, but they're a tiny company.
Hi, it's Michael Senoff with HardToFindSeminars.com. Thanks for watching this video. You know, many of my interviews last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, sometimes even up to 2.5 hours long. They're actual mini seminars, and you've just listened to a short sample of just one of over 117 hours of exciting, hard-hitting, mind-blowing interviews on how to make money in direct mail, advertising, copywriting. I assure you, there is not a resource anywhere on the internet or on the planet that comes close to the free information I provide at HardToFindSeminars.com. So go right now to HardToFindSeminars.com and you'll have free access to 117 hours of audio interviews with typed word-for-word downloadable transcripts and downloadable MP3 files. Please browse some more of the videos or go right directly to hardtofindseminars.com. Thanks for watching.